What do you think about Power Slap?
I don't get it. I've watched it a ton of times on like little Instagram reels. You know, when it shows up, I watch guys get KO'd. I would never advise anybody to do it. I don't care how good you are at getting slapped. I don't care how good you are at slapping people. For me, the whole idea of fighting is to hit and not get hit.
Yeah.
Like the whole idea is the skill. It's like you impose your skill set. It's like a human chess game. That's the opposite. You're just standing in front of each other, whacking each other in the face. But I will watch. So if people want to do it, that's your jam. You know, if you're some giant fat guy. We see one of those guys actually had a fight, a dirty boxing fight with Yoel Romero, who's like the freaks.
Yeah, he's like the dirty boxing king, dude.
He's also super juicy now. He's a heavyweight now. So Yoel is 47.
Yeah,
so he was competing under pretty rigorous testing with the UFC as far as like, I'm sure you would disagree. But look at what he looks like now.
We could talk about that later.
Yeah, definitely. This is Yoel now. He smashes this guy. Look at the size of him. This is not a good video, Jamie. Find another video of it. There's the actual video of it from the fight event. That's like someone's camera from the side view. But he's huge. Yoel's like 220 now. 225, baby. He's fucking massive.
He used to suck down to 185, and then what would he walk in at, though? I think like 2.
Well, when he would weigh 185, this was back when Yoel was fighting, there was actual weigh-ins.
Yeah.
So right now there's actual weigh-ins, but it's a ceremonial weigh-in. Like tomorrow at the UFC, I'll host the ceremonial weigh-in. So the fighters weighed in at like 9 o'clock in the morning. The ceremonial weigh-in is at 5 p.m. They've had the entire day to rehydrate. So Yoel, back in those days, was 185 when you weighed in at 5 p.m. at 185. And you couldn't believe he was 185. Because I would be like 200 pounds. And I'd be sitting there, I'm like, how? How am I bigger than you? This doesn't make, this like defies all known laws of physics and gravity. Like it doesn't make any sense. He was massive. These enormous traps. He was one of the rare guys that when he would suck weight, he didn't look smaller. He still looked fucking huge, man.
Yeah, he has really round muscle bellies, so it's almost like bodybuilder-esque in terms of like how much bigger you look just cosmetically too.
So this guy that he's fighting is a slap fight guy. And look at the size of Yoel now.
He's definitely less lean.
Yeah, he's less lean. He's eating whatever he wants, but he's still got a six-pack. But he's fucking massive, dude.
So how do you end up in this league? Like what was...
Oh, I think this is Mike Perry's thing. I think he's putting this together, or he's involved with it in some way, shape, or form. So Yoel is just basically like toying with this guy. This guy has literally no business, no disrespect to the man, but no business in the ring with this world-class athlete.
Like how much do you got to get paid to go in and fight Yoel for this?
$15. Like watch how he hops up in the air before he decides to go. Like, what is that about? He just decides to like hop in the air. Like enough, let me end this. He just decides it's time to end it.
Oh my god.
He's fucking huge, dude. Look at his back. Look at his back. That guy used to weigh 185. And by the way, see the back of his neck? He has a fully fused neck. If he wasn't, 36 when he entered into the UFC, that's how old he was. When he first started fighting, he was already past his professional prime when he first started fighting in the UFC. If he had gotten into MMA when he was 20, probably nobody would have ever beaten him. He's the freak of all freaks. When it comes to like athletic specimens, like he's the freak.
Yeah, when was his last fight in the UFC?
Quite a while ago. He fought Adesanya, I want to say 5 years ago. When did he fight Israel? And I think maybe he had one other fight other than that. But, he was knocking guys dead at 40.
Dude,
like
the Costa,
right before the pandemic.
What is it?
March 7th, 2020.
There you go. So that was his last fight in the UFC. So the last 4 years, he's been competing for Bellator. And so they're a little less stringent. They don't have a USADA deal, or now whatever it's called, drug-free sport, I think they call it now. That's the new company, which is essentially the same protocols, but they don't wake you up on the day of the weigh-ins or anything like that. You saw it was gross. Like, they would take these guys that are dehydrated, starving themselves, day before the fight, wake them up at 6 o'clock in the morning.